Hey everyone, and welcome back for another deep dive.
This time, we're going to crack the code on becoming a successful life coach.
More specifically, how to find that profitable niche, that one that's perfect for you.
Right.
So we're diving into The Life Coach Millionaires by Rick Schnabel.
And he lays out this kind of framework of 4 key questions.
Okay.
What, who, where, and why.
And these questions, they're really going to help us unlock the secrets to building a thriving coaching practice.
Yeah, it's like he's giving you the blueprint to not only define your niche, but really understand its potential.
Right. So let's start with niching down. Why is it so crucial to specialize as a life coach?
The book almost seems allergic to the idea of being a general life coach.
Well, it's all about standing out in a crowded marketplace.
Okay.
You're looking for help with something very specific, like dealing with career burnout.
Are you going to be more drawn to someone who says, I help people with their lives?
Or someone who says, I help overworked professionals rediscover their passion and create a career they love.
That's a powerful example.
It makes total sense. When you're specific, you're basically saying, I see you, I understand your problem, and I can help.
Exactly. And that kind of targeted messaging builds trust, which is essential when you're asking someone to invest in themselves.
So how does Schnabel suggest coaches actually find that sweet spot?
That niche that aligns with their passion, but also has that potential to be profitable.
Well, he uses a rather memorable analogy. Yeah. He talks about being a climax coach.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
It's a bit cheeky, but it illustrates his point perfectly.
Think about it. Branding yourself as a climax coach is going to get a reaction.
Sure, but it's way too broad. You're competing with every relationship and intimacy expert out.
Get specific. Say, helping men overcome performance anxiety.
Suddenly, you're speaking directly to a very specific problem.
And your ideal client knows you understand their struggle.
That's the power of niching down.
It's like you're speaking their language.
Yes.
Not just throwing out generic advice.
But how do we figure out what to specialize in?
He says you've got to really nail down your what.
And it's not enough to say, I help people achieve their goals. You need laser focus. Let's say you're a coach who loves helping people overcome procrastination.
Instead of a vague description, your what could be, I help creative entrepreneurs beat procrastination and launch their dream businesses.
Okay, I see the difference.
That's a strong what.
It's specific, it targets a clear problem, and promises a tangible outcome.
What comes next?
Next, you defined your WHO.
Who is your ideal client?
Okay.
And we're talking specifics here.
Demographics, pain points, what keeps them up at night.
So sticking with our procrastination coach.
Their aim might be millennial entrepreneurs juggling side hustles.
Who dream of going full-time but are overwhelmed and struggling to take consistent action.
Exactly. You want to be so clear that you can practically picture them.
Schnabel even recommends creating a visual representation of this ideal client.
To really help you tailor your language and marketing.
That makes a lot of sense.
It's about getting into the headspace of your ideal client. What's next in this niche-defining journey?
The where. Where do you find these ideal clients?
And this goes beyond just physical location,
right,
especially in the age of online coaching.
You could have clients all over the globe.
Exactly.
So you've got to think about where your ideal clients hang out online, Facebook groups,
specific podcasts,
LinkedIn. Identifying those online spaces is crucial.
Schnabel actually gives an example of a coach who found a really unconventional where.
Oh, tell me more. I love a good unconventional approach.
He talks about this coach who's specialized in helping people quit smoking.
And she decided to think outside the box, or outside the laptop, should we say.
She got a car rep advertising her services.
Wait, really?
A car rep? That's brilliant.
Right. It's like a mobile billboard for her business.
And the best part is, it worked. She said every time she drove, she got calls from potential clients. It shows you've really got to be creative and think about where your audience is. Sometimes the answer's right in front of you.
Okay, so we've covered the what, the WHO, and the where.
What's the final piece of the puzzle?
Right.
The why that ties everything together.
The WHY is all about passion and purpose.
Okay.
Why this niche?
What is it about these specific people and their challenges that truly light you up?
That makes sense.
If you're not passionate about the work, it's going to show, right?
Exactly.
Your passion translates into energy.
Into genuine care.
And ultimately into better results for your clients.
But there's another layer to the WHY, and it's about market viability.
So you could be incredibly passionate about helping people organize their sock drawers.
But if no one's willing to pay for it.
You might be out of luck.
Right.
That's where market research comes in.
Okay.
Schnabel emphasizes choosing a niche with strong demand.
A problem people are willing to invest in solving.
He even gives practical tools, like analyzing Google search results.
To see how many coaches are already specializing in a particular area.
So it's about finding that sweet spot where your passion intersects with a real market need.
Yes.
But how can you be sure you've hit the mark?
Schnabel suggests testing the waters before going all in. Think of it like a pilot program.
You could offer a free webinar or workshop on your chosen topic and see how people respond.
Do they sign up?
Are they engaged?
This gives you valuable data on whether there's an appetite for your expertise.
It's about validating your idea
Yes.
before building an entire business around it. Smart.
Now, once you've nailed down your niche,
The book dives into some really actionable marketing strategies.
and these aren't your kind of typical online marketing tips.
Right.
Schnabel encourages coaches to get creative and think beyond social media and websites.
Okay.
He's a big advocate for building what he calls joint ventures.
Strategic alliances with businesses or individuals who serve a similar audience but offer a different service.
So, for example, if you're a career coach.
You might partner with a resume writer or a LinkedIn profile expert.
Exactly. You can cross-promote each other's services.
Tap into each other's networks and ultimately reach a wider audience.
Schnabel even suggests offering free coaching sessions to your allies' clients.
As a way to showcase your expertise and build trust.
It's like creating a win-win for everyone involved.
Exactly.
You're providing valuable content, they're getting a free perk for their clients, and you're gaining exposure to potential new clients.
I love it.
It's all about leveraging those existing networks.
It's so much easier to get in front of a warm audience who already trusts the person recommending you.
Then trying to build that trust from scratch.
Speaking of building trust,
The book also delves into the importance of getting testimonials.
those are like gold for coaches, right?
Absolutely.
Testimonials provide social proof.
It's one thing for you to say, "You're great."
But when your happy clients are singing your praises, it adds a whole other level of credibility.
It's like that friend vouching for you on a dating app.
Saying, they're awesome, you should totally swipe right. And Schnabel gives some really practical advice on how to ask for testimonials
What kind of language to use?
and how to leverage them effectively on your website, in your brochures, even during your sales calls.
He even talks about using testimonials to address potential objections.
Like price, which can be a big one for people.
Right.
You could have a testimonial that says something like,
I was hesitant about the investment at first, but it was the best money I ever spent.
that's a perfect example.
It instantly reassures a potential client who might be on the fence about the cost.
But beyond just attracting clients,
Schnabel also stresses the importance of building rapport and trust once you're working with them.
okay?
He talks about mirroring and matching, which is a technique from neuro-linguistic programming.
Or NLP.
Okay.
It's about subtly matching your client's body language and tone of voice.
It's about meeting them where they are,
Yes.
making them feel heard and understood, right?
Exactly.
It's about creating that safe, comfortable space for them to open up and share their challenges.
Because when clients feel seen and understood, that's when the real transformation can begin.
But attracting clients and building rapport is only part of the equation.
Right.
Schnabel doesn't shy away from the topic of pricing your services.
Which can be a real sticking point for many coaches.
Right. It's that whole thing of knowing your worth.
And feeling confident charging what you deserve.
He's a big advocate for charging what you're worth.
In fact, he has this great illustration he calls the $9 difference.
The $9 difference. He gives the example of a coach who sees 10 clients a week.
And charges $200 per session.
Okay.
A decent income, right?
Yeah. But if they increase their fee by just $9 to $209.
Their annual income jumps by over $4,000.
Wow. That's the power of small changes adding up over time.
But as you said, I think a lot of coaches struggle with feeling comfortable charging those higher rates.
Schnabel addresses that head on.
He argues that price is often a reflection of perceived value.
Okay.
He uses the analogy of a Ferrari versus a Fiat.
Both cars will get you from point A to point B.
But the Ferrari comes with a whole other level of prestige, performance.
And yes, a much higher price tag.
So it's about positioning yourself as the Ferrari of coaches.
The premium expert in your niche. I like it.
Precisely. And that positioning, it really starts with your mindset.
Okay.
If you don't believe you're worth those higher rates, your clients won't either.
It's about owning your value and stepping into that expert role. But how does Schnabel suggest coaches overcome those limiting beliefs around pricing?
He actually recommends having a coach yourself.
That's interesting. Makes sense, though.
Walking the talk and all that.
Exactly. If you believe in the power of coaching, you should be investing in it for yourself. A coach can help you identify and overcome those mental blocks.
That might be holding you back.
Right.
Not just with pricing.
But with other aspects of building a successful business as well.
It's like that saying, you can't see the picture when you're in the frame.
Sometimes you need that outside perspective to gain clarity and make those powerful shifts.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of gaining clarity, Schnabel also talks about the importance of designing a business that aligns with your ideal lifestyle.
Yes. He calls it reverse engineering your life. Instead of letting your business dictate your schedule and your energy.
He encourages coaches to ask themselves,
Okay.
what would my business look like if it perfectly supported my dream life?
That's such a powerful question. It really flips the script on how we usually approach building a business.
Yeah.
Instead of saying, I'll have a life when I'm successful, it's about saying, I'm going to define success on my own terms.
Exactly.
And that looks different for everyone.
Right.
Maybe it's about having more time for family.
Traveling the world.
Or simply having the flexibility to set your own hours.
He actually shares his own story of burnout and how he had to restructure his business to create more balance.
Right.
He uses this great analogy.
He talks about a Grand Prix mechanic who drives a beat-up old car.
I love that analogy. So relatable for coaches who are so busy tuning up everyone else's engines that they forget about their own.
Right. It's a good reminder that self-care isn't selfish.
It's essential for sustainable success.
So we've covered a ton of ground here, from niching down to marketing to pricing to creating a business that supports your dream life.
It's a lot.
What are some key takeaways you want our listeners to walk away with?
I think the biggest takeaway is the importance of specialization.
Okay.
Don't try to be everything to everyone.
Find that one thing you're truly passionate about, that one problem you're uniquely qualified to solve.
And build your coaching practice around that.
It's about finding your sweet spot, that intersection of passion, expertise, and market demand.
Absolutely. And remember, building a successful coaching practice is a journey, not a destination.
It's about constantly learning, experimenting, and refining your approach. Embrace those challenges and never stop serving your clients with passion and integrity.
And don't forget those 4 key questions from Schnabel. What, who, where, and why.
They're not just for defining your niche.
They're guiding principles for your entire coaching career.
That's right.
And if you're feeling stuck at any point, don't hesitate to reach out to a mentor or a coach yourself. Sometimes all it takes is a little guidance and support to unlock your full potential.
That's such great advice. Well, on that note, it's time for our listeners to grab their notebooks, revisit those 4 questions, and start building that dream coaching practice. Thanks for joining us for another deep dive.
It's been a pleasure. Until next time.